Hey guys, this past week I was invited to play the closed beta test for GunZ the Duel on Steam. This is the fourth beta test GunZ has had since it's been on Steam, but this is my first one. So I'm actually really excited to kind of walk through all of the new changes because I really haven't played GunZ since EG. I've played a couple private servers, but over like a weekend and then I didn't stick with it. So I am very excited because GunZ has a very special place in my heart because this was all I played for like a straight 2, 3, almost 4 years when I was younger. So immediately the hideout is super cool. I love this like little, what do you call this, gyroscoping? Whatever little movement they have here. This is cute. I love the new model updates. Initially, I thought that they actually changed like the skeleton of the models, but in game I believe they're the same. It's just the pose here looks different. So to me the male looks a little skinnier than I remembered, but that's not the case in game. Already this looks pretty good. I love the high quality stuff and the menu looks much more modern. Let's look at this map. Already all the textures or the graphics look amazing. To me, this is such a big upgrade from GunZ, the source code back in the day. Everything is much more clear. I think everything is scaled up. I'm playing 1440. My monitor's 1440, and it looks pretty good. And then here is Mansion. One of my favorite maps because of attack and defense. We can see a lot of pretty much everything is updated. Everything looks so good. This is a bit out of scale, but you know what? Who cares? Who cares? Dining room, formal dining room, where like I guess meeting room looks really nice. I'm digging the green. Like I feel like everything is a bit more muted and realistic and fits kind of the aesthetic that GunZ the Duel. And if we look in the library as well, like this looks so good. Like this little area just looks so cute. All right, I'm hopping over to voiceover because the gameplay is much more interesting anyways. So continuing from my last point, yes, everything in this closed beta test, for the graphics at least, looks really, really good. I'm so happy with the graphical updates. In 2026, if Soft wants to bring in a new player base and new revenue, it really needs a graphical update because, you know, the source code is 20 years old. Essentially the whole game, you are just glitching out of your freaking mind. So if it looks bad, no one wants to join and play. And I watch frag videos on YouTube in modern times, aka like 2020 and so forth. And y'all play super well because y'all have been playing for the last 20 years, yes. However, everyone plays with graphics on super, super low, and in 2026, that's just not going to fly. And then next we have gameplay, which nothing has changed from the mechanics. I don't think anyone expected things to change. This is GunZ's bread and butter, so you would hope Soft wouldn't pull a GunZ to GunZ 3. But what I am pretty hyped for is ranked mode. I believe when I was playing, I don't remember or I don't recall playing ranked in anything. The only competitive mode was Clan Wars, and you just had to be an active player and kind of dedicated for that, and that I just was not. So I'm excited to see ranked being implemented. I hope enough new players join to where we have a very viable competitive ladder where players of all levels can really enjoy the game against players of similar level. And then finally, I think the biggest point for me from this closed beta test is I'm actually very excited to see how they implement the cash shop, because I remember playing EG GunZ, and for me, what killed the game was the pay to win, right? So GunZ introduced this thing called infusions, where you can see on like the person's sword that they have something glowy that used to add in extra damage and effects, and you could only get that via cash shop via real money. You couldn't even quest to get something similar. So for me, that really ruined the competitive integrity of GunZ, and what I'm seeing on this closed beta is that they've decoupled the extra stats gained from the infusions as well as the effects, so that now it's only cosmetic. And I'm not saying that I don't love the different infusion effects, because you know, I do think they spice up the game and add kind of an interesting flavor to everyone's build and loadout kit. And I think it adds some personality to kind of how you fight in guns. However, what I'm not a fan of is kind of such a game-changing mechanic or bonus that is only attainable via real money. So now that they've decoupled the extra stats and effects from the infusions and have made it only cosmetic, I do think there is space for guns to thrive in the competitive space. If you look at the gaming space nowadays, I think you can see that there is appetite and even hunger for games that are true to like actual skill expression and not pay to win, right? Like you see that these retail MMOs are going back to classic versions of their own game because the classic versions had more skill expression. You're seeing games go full free to play and only sell cosmetics so that they're not unintentionally like unbalanced in the game with people's money, and you see those games thriving, right? Like Marvel Rivals, like Valorant, Counter-Strike, where you're not paying to have better stats than other people, but you're paying to, you know, style on them. And for a game like Guns, I feel like that's pretty much the perfect mantra to incorporate into the soul of the game, because to me, what makes games like Guns, and honestly games in general, fun is that people win because of their skill, their knowledge, their dedication to the game and the craft, rather than being able to just pay to win. I feel like those games have a much longer shelf life because people don't feel like they are really giving up a lot of their real life income. And you know what? In this economy, I'm not going to pay to have better stats. Like, that's just not going to happen. I would much rather play another game or even play solo on an offline game before I spend money on pay to win, because I think that really just defeats the purpose of gaming for me. And the infusions isn't just the only green flag sign I saw. A lot of the quote-unquote premium cosmetic items that they've implemented into the game already have the same stats as what you could buy with in-game currency. I'm sure they'll add in some more stat variations, but I hope for premium items it's only cosmetic and they don't add in even like a 5 plus 5 HP plus 5 AP bonus on top of other items you can find in the game. I hope they don't even do that, because it just takes away from the merit of the game, and I feel like the merit and skill expression for games like this have a much more intangible value in the marketplace of video games. And I know the finance bros are gonna disagree with me, because yes, it doesn't show up on the balance sheet. However, it does show up when players start to leave the game and the game dies because it's not making enough revenue. It's losing relevancy. So I hope Guns doesn't pull another death on itself in the big 2026, 2027, whenever it releases. But from what I've seen in the item and cash shop so far, it doesn't seem to be the case that Guns is going to go pay to win. It seems like they're taking notes from other games that are thriving, right? Like, nobody wants to sit at the loser's table, and I think Masang Soft is taking notes, because there are so many games that you can play nowadays. It just doesn't make sense for someone to slave away at their job and have to pay in a game to keep up with others. I know MMO players exist, and I play MMOs myself as well. But I think the overwhelming majority of people just would rather not keep up with constant paywalls, whether that's in the form of like a monthly subscription or like just like having to keep up with buying cosmetics or armor or weapons in any game. My only gripe with the way they've implemented the new item shop is the weapons and armor that you can obtain in game. The cheapest way to buy them is with a rental period, and I am not a big fan of that because it kind of forces you to either play or feel like you're missing out, and I don't kind of love that mentality for game design. They do have permanent guns that you can buy. However, for new accounts and new players, when you're first starting off, you're just not going to have nowhere near enough to buy permanent guns. So you're kind of just locked into buying rental contracts on guns and weapons until you can afford the permanent version. And that kind of really locks you into like a very narrow play style, because you really don't want to waste the rental period for guns. So I just think that is not, in my opinion, the best way to implement it, unless it doesn't take that long to get a permanent contract. But then at that point, you know, what kind of is the point of a rental period in a game anyways? However, I'm not going to make that my biggest complaint or critique, because I do understand the need for like a currency sync. I do understand the need to make, you know, using the cash shop more palatable for people, and that is one method of making just items easier and more permanent to get via cash shop, so players are more incentivized to, you know, swipe their little card for $10-$20.
Ow.
And that's really all I have to say on the GunZ closed beta test. I'm excited to join more closed beta tests, or I hope it releases sooner than later. I don't know if I'm spreading misinformation, but I do recall seeing that it looks like this game is set to be released this year in 2026. If not next year, 2027. The full Steam GunZ at least. Which kind of sounds insane because, you know, the majority of the code they're using for this game existed 20 plus years ago and is only now
She got me.
it's weird seeing how like finally it's coming to Steam, which is one of the biggest PC platforms globally at this point. Anyway, the rest of this video is just GunZ gameplay. I spent 3 hours over the course of a day relearning K-Style. Of course, it really is kind of like riding a bike once, even though I haven't really K-Styled in 15 plus years. I have picked GunZ back up here and there, but only for like a day max. And I quit before getting really comfortable with K-Style, but I feel throughout the 3 hours of this closed beta test that I played that I got much more comfortable. I feel like I'm almost even better in a sense than I was back when I was a kid. And this part has nothing to do with the closed beta test, so if you were just here for that information, we're kind of over that. But I think what's really interesting is kind of the new way, quote unquote, that I'm playing GunZ in K-Style, because I think it just speaks to how, I guess, like brain development works, because when I was a kid, I was able to pick up K-Style so easily, at least the really basic movements. But I never got really complex with it. Like, I don't even remember reload shotting as part of my K-Style back in the day. And I feel like my brain was just at capacity. My little 11, 12-year-old brain was just at capacity with the amount of inputs I needed to do every second. So I just did not focus on, you know, incorporating a reload shot in there. But picking up GunZ again, I feel almost as if the movement is more slower than I expected, which is kind of crazy to say, but when I was warming up with K-Style during the session, it felt like everything was just dragging for me, and that was because I was inputting my movements way too quickly and just kind of glitching myself, or I guess like not canceling the movement correctly. So it's really interesting seeing how like my little kid brain, even though I was using less buttons back in the day, I felt it was much quicker. So you could definitely see, or I noticed kind of how at capacity my kid brain was. But now I'm able to incorporate a whole new button press. I feel like my gameplay, maybe it's not showing off here because I'm just really limit testing and trying to get my K-Style back. I feel like it's a bit more methodical because, you know, like I'm not as rash as I was when I was a preteen. And I do think it shows up in your gameplay. Like I'm noticing that I'm jumping into fights and I'm reminding myself that I shouldn't be getting caught in a sandwich. And I was not doing that level of, I guess, like introspection or self-analysis at the age of 11. So I don't know. It's just fun to see over the years how, one, my brain has developed, but two, like my game sense as just like a gamer in general has also developed. But then like also seeing how like as a kid, how neuroplastic your brain really is, because like as an adult, I'm only able to pick up GunZ because I played it as a kid. Because when I think of other fast-paced games such as like Fortnite and like Fortnite building, I cannot pick that up. Like maybe I haven't given it the good old try, and you know, it's easy to move on because there's just so many other games to play that I don't feel like I need to really commit the time and effort into learning. But I'm just saying, like, whenever games go beyond just normal run shoot mechanics, like my brain gets overwhelmed. But for a game like GunZ, where it's shown to be one of the highest actions per minute per second games that has ever existed,
You got me.
and I feel like I can keep up. Like, it's saying something. I don't know if I'm articulating it correctly, but that is just how I'm seeing it. I think my K-style gets a bit more warmed up throughout the duration of this video. I don't know if there will be more closed beta tests. I don't know about the full release. I definitely do want to hop on if they do have another closed beta test to see if any other features or game modes have been implemented. And for sure, once the game comes out fully, I do want to dedicate some time to trying to get back into it. Just because, again, GunZ has such a special place in my heart. I still don't think any other game has the same level of skill expression that GunZ does. And GunZ has, like, the bones. You know when people say, like, houses have good bones and good skeleton? I feel like that is GunZ, because the game has been locked down, essentially, for the past 20 years, right? There's not much new in terms of weapons, in terms of team compositions, in terms of movement or whatever. So the meta has been set, and the meta is, like, if you are good, then you win, and if you're not good, then you don't win, and you just get better until you do win. And so what I'm really trying to say is that even though GunZ hasn't really evolved past, I guess, like, K-style and what people discovered in 2005, 2006, and that there's still interest in this game, means that this game has really good structure. Like, there really isn't another game that you can find that's on the market that fills the same hole that GunZ does. A lot of games come close, sure, and a lot of games are fast-paced, a lot of games have insane wall movement, but none of those other games really capture the je ne sais quoi that GunZ has, and I feel like GunZ really has a viable place in the marketplace of video games if Masang Soft can get the monetization done correctly. The rest of the video, I hope you enjoy. I hope you don't make fun of my K-style too bad. Listen, I know I'm pretty basic when it comes to it, but I am pulling from my 11, 12-year-old brain, and that boy was not doing triple butterflies, right? I think there are definitely still things I need to work on, and I'm actually glad I put in some time during this closed beta to really hone in on what exactly it is that I feel like I'm lacking. And it's a couple of things, right? It's getting back into the rhythm with K-style, so not dragging as much as I've done in this video. It's also working on my side-to-side combat, because I feel like I definitely am a sitting duck a lot of the times when I'm shooting, because when I'm doing my slash shots, it's not complex enough to where I'm moving side to side. So it's definitely working on my side to side movement, and that ties into kind of my last critique about my gameplay, is that I'm not able to get the verticality that I really want, because I'm not able to kind of like both climb the wall and look at where I'm shooting, because I need to look forward when I'm flash stepping. So I definitely am excited to play GunZ again in the near future, but I'm pretty happy with where I've left off here. This is probably the most time I've put into GunZ since EG closed down, so I'm pretty hyped that I was able to get to a good spot with my K-style where I feel comfortable being pretty competitive once this game fully releases on Steam. In the latter half of the video, I do change to a male character, and I think moving forward, I definitely want to start playing male characters more, because, you know, while I learned and played most of my guns on a female character, I want to watch some broad shoulders, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see broad shoulders on my screen, and that's just the reality of it. I don't care if I have to kind of relearn all of the K-style animations. I'm willing to do it so that I can play dress up with a male character, and that's that. If you've sat through this video this long and listened to me yap this entire time, thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. I definitely am trying to grow this channel in the next few months while I have some free time. The rest of the video is going to be pure gameplay from now, from my gun stream that I did over the weekend. And yes, I do stream on both YouTube and Twitch as a way of getting footage for my videos. So if you want to hang out in real time, you know where to find me. But with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will chat with you in the next one. Bye-bye. Okay, I should stop just reload canceling because I can't do it right. Oh. Damn, girl. Oh. Oh, and that's my bad for joining. And that's my bad. Okay. Ooh. Rocket style. Okay. Oh. Damn it. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Oh. Ouch. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, it's so close. Damn, dude. Just nuking everything. Oh. Oh, I got something. Ouch. Dude, I keep leaning. I need to stop doing that. Oh, K-Style's here. Oh my god, the original girl. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Oh. I kind of screwed that one up. I should have gone for the wall. I think back to the wall is a good rule of thumb. G, you got me. Oh, I'm getting better. Okay, yeah, don't be in the sandwich. Don't be in the sandwich. Don't be in the sandwich. I'm not switching fast enough. What's going on? Ow. Okay. Ooh, Cyclops. Ooh. Okay, my movement kind of ate there. Oh. Oh. D-styler? A D-styler? Ooh, Hell's Guards. Ooh, D-styler. Oh, I'm disconnected. Oh. Okay, I'll take it. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Okay, this is kind of fun. This is kind of fun. Oh. Oh my god, get it. Oh. Oh. Oh shit.
Headshot.
Ooh. Okay. Blue team wins. Yeah, rabbit. Okay.